Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video. Number one is that I don't even understand how some people wake up every day to drag black women into some certain things. Like, I don't know how black women also got into that video. But then he started by saying that, can't black women see that most white women help their husband, like they do things 50-50, or their partner 50-50, and probably white women at the age of probably 18 years that they are already married, building with their partner, and they're sharing bills 50-50, and also trying to grow their empire and all that. That he is saying that black women don't do that black women really need to probably learn from. And I am asking, why is it that every day you all wake up, all you all want to do is look for a way to drag black women into your discussions and all that? And the white woman that actually came out to say that most of them do not do 50-50, right? And are you also assisting the woman with the chores, or you just want to do 50-50 and let her die doing the chores and all that? I mean, we really can do better. I am tired of waking up to all this guy saying that they are in their feminine energy. They want everything 50-50 and the rest of it. Make sure that before you start looking for partner, make sure you are in agreement with your partner that you are going to do the 50-50, right? And not when you probably did not make your intentions like clear, and then you come back crying here, black women this, black women that. Enough of that, your bullshit. Let's get into the.
If you're black and you have anything negative to say about the soft guy era, you're just very slow. Have y'all noticed that a lot of white people get married around the ages of 18 to 25, and they don't ever have conversations of 50-50 because they're doing it? They're both going 50-50, stacking the bread up. They get one house, then they get another house, then they stack up their money, send their kids to private school. And us black people are out here saying, nah, I need my man to pay all the bills straight out of college. How slow could you be? Like, that's the thing. I just feel like a lot of you guys are just unintelligent. That's what I think. The soft guy era movement is actually promoting partnership. Well, goody, my man needs to be a provider. Shut up. Calm down. You're about to bite me. I want you to use your common sense. Why can't you go 50-50 with your man so you guys can have 500,000 plus in a mutual fund? Why can't you go 50-50 with your man so your dream of sending your kids to private school can actually come to fruition? Why can't you go 50-50 with your man so you can actually get some assets? No, but you want to sit there, right, and see, how can I have a better Meg Thee Stallion challenge? You want to re-record your Meg Thee Stallion challenge while Meg Thee Stallion is making all this money. How much money did you make today? None. You ain't make no money. And they don't ever have conversations of 50-50 because they're doing it.
So I do not do 50-50 financially with my husband, and here's why. So he works about 70-80 hours a week. I work about 30 hours a week. Therefore, he doesn't have a lot of time to cook or clean, which means that weight falls on me, which is completely fine by me because he pays more in bills and I do more in the house. It seems fair that way, right? Which I hate when I see men try to push this 50-50 rhetoric on this app, because they're never pushing 50-50 when it comes to domestic labor, child care. It's only financially, right? So if a woman is paying half the bills yet expected to do most of the housework, so the domestic labor and the childbearing, then that 50-50 becomes an 80-20, 70-30, even a 90-10 real quick. Last time I checked, men cannot give birth, they cannot bear children, they cannot breastfeed. Therefore, men should be providing and protecting their women because they are bearing their children. Plus, men do not have the same connection with their children as women do. Men can be great fathers. My husband's a great father, but he does not have the same bond that I have with my child because I am the person that held my child in my womb for 9 months. Plus, I was the one who breastfed him. My husband could never do that. And what grinds my gears the most is that this guy is saying how basically black women act aggressive when black men mention doing 50-50. And you want to know why that is because as you're promoting in this video, the soft guy era, soft men are in their feminine energy, right? And in every relationship, there's feminine energy and there's masculine energy. So when a man is in his feminine energy, wanting to receive, not wanting to provide and protect, the woman is going to act masculine. Over time, when a woman is in her masculine energy constantly, which is what black women have had to do historically, because they've had to be both the mother and the father, play many roles for many generations. So when women are constantly in their masculine energy, right, never receiving, not being able to be a soft woman, then they get upset and emotional over time and act mean and rude towards the men because they're not providing and protecting for them. They're not being the men that they should be for the family.
And she's telling me she wants to go 50-50.
So let's talk about why 50-50, especially with regards to housing and living expenses, doesn't make sense. And that's a joke video or whatever, but like we're gonna use it as a launching off point. So I feel like it's pretty normalized, and a lot of people think like, oh, what would be equal or even equitable would be to split things 50-50. And to be clear, I'm talking specifically about heterosexual relationships, because I think that there's some really important distinctions that happen within these relationships that aren't true for queer couples. So the first being that typically, men make more money than women. And so I think that's the first thing you have to factor in, is that if you're in a relationship with somebody that's making more money than you, then your payment, or what is a fair payment on something like your rent, should reflect that. So let's talk about what would actually be 50-50 and break this down with an example. So let's play pretend, and I'm gonna use some big round numbers to make it super easy. So let's play pretend that rent for a couple is $1,000 total. He makes $6,000 and she makes $4,000. Now, if we're saying straight 50-50, that would mean that each of them would pay 50% of the $1,000 rent, which would be $500 per person. But where that gets inequitable, and in my opinion isn't truly fair, is that then that means that he has $5,500 left of disposable income to also meet other needs, and also to do fun things, and to save with, and to pay taxes. And she only has $3,500. And also, let's make sure here too that we're under the assumption, right, that this is somebody that you love, that you want the best for, that you are in true partnership with, right? Like, this is, you like each other. So it makes more sense to actually look at the percentage of someone's income that they're contributing, and then have an equal percentage based on the percentage of overall income that you're making together. So in this case, if he's making $6,000 and she's only making $4,000, proportionally, I think it makes much more sense for him to pay $600 a month and for her to pay $400 a month. And if the roles were reversed, if she was making more money, then I think she should pay more rent. Fun fact, Ariana Grande did this with Pete Davidson. I mean, kind of to an extreme example. My understanding is that he basically only bought the groceries. But that's just the starting point, because we know that women are significantly more disadvantaged within the workplace than men are. And granted, some of that depends upon their career and a man's career in comparison. But God forbid anything ever happened to your partner. If a man is already making more money, he's in a better position to recover from that, whereas women aren't necessarily. In addition to that, women may also incur other financial costs to being a woman in the workplace, whether that's having to have a more current wardrobe and not being able to just wear kind of simple suits and stuff like that for forever, or whether it's wanting to or having to invest in products like makeup, procedures, stuff like that, which I heavily disagree with. I think it's super toxic that women face this pressure, but also it has to be acknowledged, and depending upon the field, may be seen as required, and that is incredibly expensive. So she's going to also have to save, or in the long run, spend more of her income on being able to sustain her actual career. Additionally, if she has children with that man, she may take a hit for that. Even if she doesn't actually take a step back and doesn't become like a stay-at-home mom, we give in our society, like, there's a mommy penalty for women who have children because we assume that they are less likely to be able to show up and work. It's super messed up. Meanwhile, dads were like, huh, you get a bum. Anyway, so in this case of this couple, I don't think it's actually fair to just say, oh, okay, well, that's fine. Then he can just pay $600 and she can pay $400. I would instead argue that she actually needs more disposable income or money that's not going towards rent, for example, or other basic needs, because she's going to need to be able to both spend more potentially and save more potentially, both to insulate herself and protect herself in the long run from potential career adversity, becoming a mom, ageism in the workplace, all of that stuff, but also to save for other needs. And in case he is no longer reliable and out of the picture for any number of reasons, including accident or death, okay? We're not saying he's a piece of shit. Again, they love each other. They love each other. Okay, but like, what do you think? What's a good number for that? Personally, I feel like I would lean towards more like a 650 to 350 ratio, you know? It also just depends on the order of magnitude of money that someone is making, right? Like in the case of Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson, like it would be bananas, I feel like, if she was trying to make Pete pay anything for rent. And it's also worth noting that this...
Have y'all noticed that a lot of white people get married around the ages of 18 to 25?
Have y'all noticed that white people are different than black people? Can we stop having this conversation? Can we please stop having this conversation? Look at what white people are doing and the conversations that black people are having. We're the ones holding ourselves back. Nobody is saying that there aren't problems within black culture. Every culture has problems within it that they could be doing better because that's how cultures work. They're not monolith. Making it seem like black people have this crucial cultural issue that is just holding them back from all the other races is just fucking anti-black. Y'all are enslaved to the mindset of the American dream that was given to you by white people. They enslaved our ancestors, okay? And then they were able to live the lives that they want to live. So of course they're going to have an easier time today living the American dream, which was built for them in the first place. I'm sure I wouldn't have to worry about doing a 50-50 if my dad was the owner of the only shop in town and I had his credit card in my pocket. And after hearing what you had to say, I'm understanding why you think that black people are becoming slower and less intelligent, because how else could you be this stupid?
Have y'all noticed that a lot of white people get married around the ages of 18 to 25?
Have you noticed that the reason why the black community can't get out of their own way is because we constantly prop ourselves up against other races wanting to be like said other races? The moment we start acting true to ourselves and own who we are is the moment we'll truly be free. And this is something that has been laced within us since we got over here. Constantly sizing each other up for white people points. We do things in our own way. We have issues just like every other...
Like, I'm not trying to hate on Brody's video, but the entire thing did not talk about bro. Like, okay, Lil Goody, Brody said, oh, you know, let's try the partnership. Literally, he's just saying, oh, men and women in our black community, we should focus on partnership. And that's what he's bringing up. But then you literally yapped about something he didn't even fucking talk about. Like, I'm not even trying to hate, but that's the problem here. You're bringing up something that had no relevance to what the fuck he was talking about. You're talking about, like, what? Not only, like, hateful and, like, I guess, marginalization within our community, but then, like, bro, like, that has nothing to do with what he's talking about. This is about relationships. And you're talking about... intersectionality. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? Intersectionality? For what?
I mean, this is all I got from the video, man. Some people are just every day staring problems and trying to act really smart or like talk smart when they are, like, you know, not really intelligent. Because the fact that people wake up every day, especially some kind of men coming out to compare black women to white women, right? I really love those white women that spoke up, because sometimes to whom much is expected, much is given. I don't know if you all understand this. You do not wake up. I saw somebody saying in the comment section that the mother supported him for 18 years. So he is also looking for a woman that will support him for the rest of it. I mean, can you just wake up and stop leave black women out of your business? See, how do you want to go 50-50 with somebody that, I mean, okay, probably you're married, right? And you have your apartment, probably you have kids, and you do most of the job. And you work also, you take care of the home front, you do the cooking and all that. I mean, the only time, maybe if the woman agrees to do 50-50, I mean, okay, she probably got something great coming for her. But then, while you guys are splitting the bill, I hope you make sure that you are also helping her with the chores and all that. Sometimes it's just all about being smart and being human at the same time. Because some people or some men, or even some women too, expect everything to happen, like, you know, to be given to them in a platter of gold. It doesn't have that way. For partnership, I do not, I am not going to dispute, I mean, like, you know, coming together as partners and making things work. But it might actually not be 50-50. Or it may actually be more than 50-50, you know. See, let me tell you something. Women, sometimes some men are just so quick to say that some women are not being like helpful when it comes to the bills and all of that. See, when you get a woman that would, like, both of you understands one another and you all agrees and all of that, you love one another, trust me, all these things are not even something that you are going to force her to do, right? She probably would do them without even you knowing. Now, let me give this as an example. Growing up, I never knew when my dad probably, sometimes I felt like maybe that man never goes broke or something. But sometimes I am like, you know, probably when, I can't remember when, but at some point there is nothing we ask that we don't get. We ask and we get everything that we asked for. I mean, school fees is being paid in full. Our books are being paid in full. Our clothing are being changed, food. So I never lacked anything. But at some point, I felt like, you know, as I was growing, I felt like maybe sometimes he might be broke, but my mom takes care of the bill and all that. Because I never heard for a day that, I mean, probably my dad is supposed to bring money for food and he did not bring money for the food or something, that kind of story, right? So, some of all this, when you guys understand yourself, it comes out naturally. But when some of you are looking for, I mean, like from the onset already, you are doing 50-50, drizzle, or whatever you people call it, because, I mean, you are in your soft guy era, right? And you all, but you all want everything to be given to you. See, trust me, when a woman is giving 50-50, also, sure, she is also sometimes gonna get tired. So I am always in the opinion that if she is, I mean, I don't know, you all, I don't understand, you all can be, I mean, helpful to one another. That is how you all can be helpful to one another. It really doesn't, for me, this is how I say it. It really doesn't matter how the money, as long as we are in love and we love one another and we are doing great for ourselves and all that. I can argument when my husband doesn't have or when my boyfriend doesn't have, but if you are also, make sure you are taking care of that person so that tomorrow, if you are not able to get up on your feet, you have somebody helping you out. Not when you are not treating somebody right and you expect the person to do everything for you. Probably your mother would do that. And I am not only saying for men, I am saying this for both parties, right? If you are not being helpful to your partner, do not probably expect that your partner to help you 100% when you are down and all that. Probably, I mean, like, can we all stop all this? You are in your feminine energy or all that 50-50, drizzle and all that. If you are looking for, but then some of them, when they're married, you see them like, you know, cover up everything. But then when you all see black women, you all want black women to, like, climb heaven and earth for you and all that. I mean, we can do better and use our senses also, and stop coming on the internet to how is it that, to make a lot of noise on something that doesn't make any sense, And number one is, when you are probably in a relationship, probably you've seen the kind of person you want to be in a relationship. I mean, why do some men go for something like, that you guys do not match? Probably you peradventure fix yourself into the relationship and come back the next day to stop screaming that she was this. Probably you saw it from the onset that you guys were not perfect match. So when you all are ready to scream, make sure you get your perfect match so that you can enjoy your relationship and stop screaming around and start saying you are in your soft boy era. If you are in your soft boy era, go back to your mom's house and keep doing soft boy era, because I feel like your mother is going to assist you with everything. Not all mothers, even. Not all mothers. So enough of all this drizzle and whatever you all are saying. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.